Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Nurjeet and I am a Vice Principal at GHPS New Delhi, India. And also, I am a Google Certified Educator Level 1 and 2, a Google Certified Trainer, and the leader of GEG Punjab and GEG Amritsar. And I really want to thank Eric for making me a part of 2021 Spark Educational Technology Conference. And here I shall be sharing my thoughts on the changing pedagogy, the use of technology in educational support systems. Now, focusing on pedagogy or the craft of teaching, is a frame that helps ensure educators prioritize content, strategies, and students in all the work that we do. And in this format, technology comes much later. Unfortunately, it comes much later. It wouldn't be wrong to say that the mantra pedagogy is the driver and technology is the accelerator has been true for ages together, right? Teachers, we as educators, we work really hard to design lessons and create the conditions, for success for the students. Yet we know that not all learning happens in school. Our experiences and reflections provide some of the most important lessons about life, and these experiences are now getting mediated by technology. And what happened? What changed? I think COVID 19 altered this. When the pandemic hit, educators and instructors, some with no previous experience, maybe it was teaching online or at distance, discovered new approaches to teaching and learning, and imaginative work was undertaken to overcome the very real challenges that we were facing. Initially, some educators did, wanted to replicate this. They set out to replicate online what they normally did in the classroom. But then they soon discovered, all of us together discovered, that this was not a strategy, that was practical, as not at all students, all of them couldn't access synchronous classes reliability, and they had many challenges. And this I'm speaking from my personal experience. Here in India, in my school or in many other schools, we have had these challenges, such as the other siblings, single phone, parents needling access to technology, the costs of broadband internet access exceeding their ability to pay, or they were in different time zones and things like that were happening. Yes, but there were a lot of struggles. All these problems gave rise to a very fundamental question. Are there times in school in which technology could be a driver? What might happen if pedagogy took a backseat? Even, briefly it took a backseat. These are the questions which are worth asking, and it's high time that we begin to explore pedagogy of technology, the science and art of instruction based on design and technology. As I mentioned earlier, also many educators have had a very hard time integrating technology into education, and this could have been because educators have yet to explore the relationship, between the pedagogy and technology. Doing so could play a huge part in encouraging critical thinking by teachers as they attempt to integrate technology into education. And at the same time, we know that for technology to work efficiently, it should only be incorporated in the class if it is appropriate for a given instructional task. Also technology can only be effective teaching tool if the teachers participate in the decisions to adopt technology. They have the responsibility of facilitating instruction and incorporating technology at the classroom level. Yet many schools, and administrators there, they tend to make decisions related to technology without consulting teachers. This is not going to be appropriate because teachers know what is going on in their classes. Teachers know how they are going to incorporate technology. So they have to be the major stakeholders in these all the decisions that are being taken. So as faculty, instructors have become more familiar with digital technologies today, pedagogical responses and strategies are emerging. The basic structure of teaching has changed, and there are multiple trends emerging. Trends like blended learning, closer integration of classroom and online teaching under a generic term of hybrid, or blended learning, where classroom is not eliminated. Then there is flipped classroom. Instructor is going to record a lesson or a lecture, provide access to videos, readings, OERs, that is open educational resources, quizzes, and other resources which students work through prior to coming to the class. And the classroom time is spent on interaction among students and with instructor, whether through discussion or problem solving or case studies or practical experiences or lab work. Materials are often designed to be used after the class for reviews and, of course, assignments. Then I think building communities of inquiry and practice is something that we are developing today because of the incorporation of technology in our teaching. From the early days of online teaching, there was emphasis on enabling students to construct knowledge through questioning, through discussion, through analysis of resources, through feedback. And but most recently, we see a model of how this constructivist approach to teaching and learning can occur has been developed with giving emphasis to the idea of class as a community, online class as a community. Then the use of digital media, YouTube videos such as TED Talks or Khan Academy, and increasingly open educational resources in the form of short lectures or animations, simulations, virtual labs, virtual worlds, Google Earth, Google, so many tools, using so many tools and many other formats. They have enabled instructors and students to access and apply knowledge in a variety of ways. I guess with all this happening, the increased student control, the choice, and the independence, the students can now access variety of content all free of charge from multiple resources via internet. They can choose alternative interpretations, area of his interests, and strictly managing a set curriculum in terms of limited content chosen by the instructor has become a very meaningless idea. You know but yes, if we incorporate technology in using that, it sounds much more meaningful. The emphasis shifts to deciding what is important or relevant within a subject domain is something of a challenge. And the instructors, this approach is challenging us as educators to move away from selecting and transmitting information in large blocks or large chunks. Also, I feel that anytime any size learning is emerging, this kind of a learning where development of any size learning is seen in the creation of smaller modules, as we mentioned in the previous example also. So the instructors are going for creation of smaller modules that fits the need of many full-time students who are working part-time, as well as those needing greater flexibility or additional help with their learning. There are new forms of assessments. Digital learning is leaving a permanent trace in the form of a student contribution, be it their e-portfolios or peer assessments. They are there to stay. There is a trace, as I said, on all of these things. And this all has clearly indicated in these developments are some common, some common factors have come to be indicated, and there are so many things that are happening around us. There are development of some trends as we are seeing these days. The move to opening up of learning, making it more accessible and flexible, and the classroom with information delivered through a lecture is no longer the unique center of learning, which is the best part of education, according to me. You cannot describe, you cannot fix education. Okay, this is the classroom, and here is what we are at. The education is being imparted. No, that's not how things have been moving. Then an increased sharing of power between the instructor and the student is something that we are seeing now. This is manifested as a changing instructional role, and with an increased use of technology, the support and the assistance to the students, new form of student assessments, all this technology has brought to us, which is very, very important. Just a paper, whenever I talk about these things, I also take into consideration that I come from I'm talking from Indian point of view also, right? So just a paper and pen test and all were something that we were really into before this pandemic, but now we have discovered new forms of student assessment, new ways of technology delivering teaching. I mean, we are supporting and assisting students, and something is really changed here. So, although technology is finally being integrated into education, its use for teaching and learning still but remains a challenge. At least with me, not with me, like in my country, I would say. So, despite the fact that many schools are privileged to have ready to access technology, they have trained teachers, favorable environment also, the use of technology, I believe, is still low. Teachers aren't using it the way they can. The schools are not tapping into their resources the way they can. And some attribute lower levels of technology to the pedagogical beliefs of the teachers. The technology has always to take the back seat, it can never be the driver, what we started with. But that's not true anymore. The potential of technology to enhance learning cannot be overemphasized also with previous things said. you know Use of technology actually started a long time ago. For example, there was braille machines and everything for visually impaired and everything. But then why did we shy away from using technology in our classes? Why are we using it so late? So overall, technology is central to many sectors of society and its integration into the educational process. And with technology, we can, expect increased efficiency and effectiveness on both the part of teachers and students. So technology can also prompt pedagogical change and address issues that affect learning, teaching, and social organization. Technology can be a tool and a catalyst for change. It has to be. There's no other way out. Students should embrace technology for them to benefit, and teachers should be open to introducing technology into their classroom to improve and innovate their teaching. And teachers have been doing that. There is no doubt that teachers around the world have been working tirelessly to get all the content in the class to make this teaching learning effective for the students. And I really thank Eric once again for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on changing pedagogy. And I hope that this pedagogy is here to stay. And then this pedagogy is going to be taken into consideration when in the future we are going to decide curriculums, or we are going to decide semesters, we're going to decide syllabus. This is going to be our first mode consideration in the years to come, in the sessions to come. So thank you so much. Thank you from India. Thank you from me. Thank you so much.